What's up, Dice Crew? I ain't gonna hold y'all up too long. We got Compton Ricc Roc speaking on this situation pertaining to WACK100 and Lefty Gunplay. Let's tune in to see what all Compton Ricc Roc got to say. I'm gonna keep it a Benji for y'all doing the reaction. Y'all keep it a Benji for me in the comments. Let's rock.
What do I think about the Lefty Gunplay and the WACK100 situation? I was on Hater World a couple of days ago, and they asked me what did I think about the situation.
I think we played a WACK100 audio. You cool with WACK100?
Yeah, cool.
We played an audio of him going in on Lefty Gunplay. You know Lefty Gunplay? Yeah. Talking about, what was he saying? That he can get him, he said that he can get him erased off.
Basically ruin his career, and you know, and he said life. Something he could set him up in Amsterdam, and he was going wild, dog.
And I stated, I think they should sit down and have a mutual conversation and come to an understanding and you know, get a mutual understanding. Now, I've been ripping and running since Sunday, filming, so I didn't have a chance to really sit down and get on the internet and see what was going on. When they asked me about the situation, I tried to like dumb it down, numb it down to the point to where I can make some sense of the whole thing before it gets too far and escalate. Little did I know, it had already went through the roof already. I seen something where Lefty Gunplay said, I guess he disrespected WACK100's dead homies. You know what I'm saying? But this also come with the game when you in this field of trolling, going back and forth, or getting into it with people on the internet. You can't dictate how the next person take their disrespect. But I want to say something about the whole situation. Like, WACK100 got a homeboy named Pooh Rider, rest in peace. I met Pooh Rider in prison, stand up, solid dude. You know what I'm saying? Loved by a lot of people from his hood. Real rider, stump down rider. That's why they call him Pooh Rider. I know him for being a rider. You know what I'm saying? So when I seen this, I was like, wow, I wish I would have known this part when I did the interview at Hater World, because I would have spoke more in depth on that situation. Now, I don't know how the Hispanic gangs, you know, disrespected their dead homies. I don't know how they, you know, react to that. But what I notice is that right there is the total disrespect. And I think by disrespecting the dead, I don't think that's cool for anybody. I don't suggest that for nobody, disrespecting the dead. So when you disrespect somebody dead homies, it takes it out of just you guys, you two. It takes it past that, and it goes further than that, because now the neighborhood involved. And what we don't need right now in today's time, we don't need no blacks and essays getting it.
Now look, I'm gonna tune back in, right? But what Compton Ricc Roc just said was absolutely correct. Like, and this is why I always speak on these type of topics. Like when it comes to DW Flame and Big Sad or whoever, like, it's no reason to turn an individual misunderstanding or disagreement into a whole wild situation and bring everybody, gang or crew or family, all involved into a situation, and it's just uncalled for. Now, mind you, anybody can go about things however they choose to. You know, if that's what people want to do, then hey, they can do that. But what Compton Ricc Roc just said was definitely some good advice that I feel like people can take from it. Because at the end of the day, WACK100 say what he say and he do what he do. So if Lefty Gunplay got a problem with him, then that's cool. You got a problem with Wack, fine, right? Might be understandable, right? But the other individuals that got care and they a part of that gang and they a part of from where Wack is from, they ain't said nothing about you, Lefty Gunplay. They ain't did nothing to you. So you really showing the level of immaturity, and you know, you being very irresponsible, and you pretty much creating a situation and making it bigger than what it actually is. You know, if you got a problem with Wack, You should just come out and keep saying whatever you have to say negative pertaining to WACK. But when you disrespect him and his dead homies, you don't know how that can roll over into. You know, and I'm not saying that Compton Ricc Roc is a person who has a problem with Lefty Gunplay, but he just made it a point to show that he has love for one of WACK100 following fallen soldiers from his hood, right? I hope I'm not mistaken, and I think he was rest in peace, right? Shout out to that dude, Pool Rider, and everybody that care about him, right? So if Compton Ricc Roc wanted to turn that into an issue as well, then he got the right, because at so many ways and so many words, you are disrespecting one of his dead homies, right? So that don't make it smart. And again, I'm not saying that's the type of path that Compton Ricc Roc is taking, but I'm just pointing out certain things on how you can create this narrative. You know, WACK100, you know, he's from Pacoima, Pyru, blood. Now, when you say that, you can be feeling, you could have people from Pacoima, Pyru, bloods, feeling offended. You can have some bloods feeling offended. You can have some Pyrus feeling offended. And you can also have people who do got some type of care for anybody from that has passed away, feel some type of way. And like I always say, this internet got people feeling like whoever can say the most disrespectful thing is going to win the battle. And that's cool for the internet type of guys, you know what I'm saying? But far as in the reality side of things, in the streets and all that stuff, and what might have to take place when the camera's cut off, it's not really just an honorable or respected thing. And again, if that's how Lefty Gunplay want to run this course, he's more than welcome to feel that way. But at the end of the day, that don't necessarily mean it's smart. And I always say that when it comes to these type of situations. Like I say, we don't never need to turn these internet situations or some rap issues or whatever into some real street issues. It's enough real street issues going on behind real issues, petty issues, and everything under the sun. But when we get on this internet, we get out here, it's never 30 people getting on these microphones. You know what I'm saying? It's never 30 people getting in front of these cameras. It's always one individual. So you have to take accountability for what you say and what you do and be willing to handle it how it handled. I'm not saying that people ain't got the right to back their homie up, back up their friend or their family member or whatever. They got that right. But we have to be responsible and take accountability if we're going to get on here and say anything, make ourselves a public figure, turn ourselves into a content creator, YouTuber, podcaster, whatever, and try our best to not let everything we doing on this internet affect everybody else that we should care about. You know what I'm saying? And that's just something I feel about. But let's continue.
It takes it past that. So when you disrespect somebody dead homies, it takes it out of just you guys, you two. It takes it past that, and it goes further than that, because now the neighborhood involved. And what we don't need right now in today's time, we don't need no blacks and essays getting into it. You know, you might have a few little beefs in the streets that's going on, but you don't need nobody going and getting into it over what on the internet. Now, WACK didn't put himself in this position by going back and forth with somebody that's younger. I would have been, me personally, I would have been dead the situation. You know what I'm saying? Lefty going back and forth with WACK, and he put statements out there saying that WACK messed up a record deal, a business deal, however the case may be with them two. I don't know how it's gonna go now with the disrespecting one of his dead disrespecting his dead homies, man. I don't think that was cool at all. I think behind closed doors, man, somebody need to probably get in between these two and say, you know what? Let's kill all this back and forth, because now it's escalating. If it continue to go that route, it's gonna be to the point of no return. It might be to the point of no return right now by disrespecting dude's dead homies. I don't think that's cool, man. You know what I'm saying? So, for future reference, for anybody on the internet, any youngster on the internet, any OG on the internet, adult on the internet, disrespecting the dead has always came back. And it always came back in detrimental. It ain't never been good on the internet when somebody disrespects somebody dead homies. Like I say, when I was on Hater World sitting down, they asked me that question, what do I think about WACK100? I guess WACK100 had linked a message to where he said if he seen that he could set up a show and have Lefty Gunplay rushed in Australia, somewhere like that. But it was a linked conversation that Wack was having with somebody else, and it was a recorded conversation. It seemed like everybody doing a recorded conversations nowadays. I don't agree with that. I don't think that's gangster on no race. I think anybody that's recording phone conversations, me personally, I think that's police activity. That's police work. But anyway, this linked conversation got back to the internet. I guess Hater World linked Blue Devil. They linked the audio, and it had Wack saying a whole lot of stuff about Lefty. Now, me personally, when it comes to this internet, off the back, I don't believe nothing on the internet. I be thinking everything is a play, everything's a setup. And when it came to this situation right here, I would have thought that this situation was a play. I would have thought that this situation was a setup until I got back on the internet the next day and heard, I guess he disrespected Wack's dead homies. So with that being said, y'all need to sit down, homie. Y'all need to sit down, figure it out. Figure out how y'all gonna kill that. You know what I'm saying, dude?
And one thing I'm gonna say, right, and you know, I'm all for what Compton Ricc Roc is saying pertaining to them trying to come to an understanding. I feel like that would be the best thing before things actually do get more worse than what it actually is. But one thing that I feel like Lefty Gunplay might need to do is make a public apology to those people that he disrespected that has passed away, and those, you know, people care about them individuals, man. You know what I mean? You got to show some real maturity and some real understanding and take responsibility for that and make a public apology on behalf of those family members, people that care about those people, and just, you know, that was just extreme. Feel like you should make that type of apology, and then, you know, whoever can pretty much create the situation for WACK100 and Lefty Gunplay to smooth things out, then I feel like then, you know, that's what can follow up with that.
Wack dude young, man. He a youngster. So at the end of the day, like, he young, man. He's, you know what I'm saying, he know how to respond in his way of responding at his age right now. You a little older, so the way that you responded to this youngster is like you on a whole nother level. You on a whole nother level in this music game. You know what I'm saying? So,
and you know, I want to speak on that a little bit when what Compton Ricc Roc is saying about the age differences, right? Because that's the same thing I was pretty much pointing out with Black Star speaking on people like T-Rail from Back on Fig, Smack from Back on Fig, Milk from, you know, Milk, and, you know, I was just pointing that out in one of the videos I spoke on pertaining to that when he was speaking on, you know, because T-Rail and Smack had said certain things, and he definitely didn't like that. But I was also saying that, you know, when you at a different age bracket in life, the comprehension is different. You know what I'm saying? You might not see things, you know, when you battling with a certain level of age or maturity or immaturity, you might take things more disrespectful than what it actually is. You know, the comprehension level is just totally different. So I do understand what Compton Ricc Roc is saying pertaining to Lefty Gunplay being a younger person.
Oh, he's still trying to come up and get his bread, but at the same time, his homies need to get behind him and lace him up and tell him, hey, homie, it's certain things that you can't do. I'm not even used to the essays even responding like this. I've never seen them respond like this, going back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Like, all this stuff is new. This like new age stuff. I'm not even used to seeing them respond like that. Like, technically, if it was gonna go down, it wouldn't even be no more words said. It'd just be when we see you, we gonna get you, we gonna plot on you, and we gonna get you. You know what I'm saying? So, we don't want to see nobody get their wig blew off over some internet stuff. We don't want to see nobody get popped. That's on both ends, because it can go both ways. They both got a little paper, and it don't cost nothing to have somebody took out the game. So with that being said, I think his homies need to get at him. Either he could apologize for disrespecting they dead homies. I don't know how people from his hood gonna take it, and WACK can apologize to him, nip it in the bud, let it go. Because the way it's going right now, man, it's gonna go. I haven't had the time to get on the internet. I ain't been on the internet in 2 days. I've been editing up videos. I've been filming. So I haven't been really keeping in touch with this internet, with the YouTube. Like I say, when I went and had that sit down with them, and when they hit me with it, I was like, oh man, I thought it was nothing. So I'm like, yeah, man, I think they should sit down, squash that, man. It ain't really nothing, man. They both done came too far. Blacks and Mexicans done came a long way, especially Hispanic rappers. They done came a long way because Lefty Gunplay, he doing good for himself in this hip hop world. So they done came a long way, and it's a whole lot more that's moving up the ranks. Some of them is rapping better than black dudes. So with that being said, homie, y'all need to kill that, homie, squash that, make some phone calls. Hey, look, man, you could make a public apology. Hey, man, you could make a public apology. Let's nip this in the bud, put this to the side. Because the only reason why I'm speaking up on this because the homie Pooh Rider, rest in peace. Pooh Rider was a real good dude, homie. Solid dude. When me and him was on the yard, he had the cell phone. I had the cell phone. When my phone got took, he'd let me use his phone. If I had an issue with the power rules, if I had an issue with the Bloods, then I hit Pooh Rider up. Pooh Rider take that, vice versa. If the Pooh Rider and them had a beef or issue with one of the homies, they'd hit me up. I make sure that we made everything mutual. You know what I'm saying? We made sure that didn't nobody crash. That was Pooh Rider's job because he had his car locked down, and my job, I had a little, little pool in my car, and just with the rips, period, I could go, hey, look, man, we need to take care of this, and that's how it was. So on the behalf of Pooh Rider, I'm gonna speak up for him because that was a good homie. That was a solid homie. Whatever he got going on, you know what I'm saying? What that was his, whatever the little rumors and shit they had on him, man, that was some crazy shit. I never got involved in none of that craziness. But far as me, what I know, the homie was solid. The homie was 100. So I'm speaking up on the homie because he not here. He not from my hood. He not from my hood. He just was a homie that I knew. So when I heard him say F his dead homies, I feel like, let me speak up for the homie Pooh Rider because Pooh Rider was a solid homie. Now the rest of his homies, I don't know. That's why I said it could go far. I think both of y'all need to sit down, make a public apology, nip that in the bud, because we don't need no, we don't need this stuff escalate. You know what I'm saying? The same way WACK be on all the blacks and he be getting at them and smashing on them. Either you gonna smash the same way, or you gonna say, you know what? Let's nip this in the blood, in the bud, because we don't need nobody getting hurt behind this, man. It's Compton Ricc Roc with Compton Ricc Roc TV. Go on to the next one.